hang with me. So building a platform means that you have this media outlet, this media platform that you can start to invite people on. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of different ways, and look at my hair, let me fix it, a couple of different ways that people are really using their platforms to grow their business and grow their revenue. So let's get started. Let me go ahead and shoot on over there and show you what I'm talking about. So the first podcast we are going to talk about, we're going to look at Smart Passive Income. So Smart Passive Income is a podcast all about, of course, making smart passive income, right? So what Pat Flynn does is he shows people, and he talks about, and I might want to uncover my face, right? He talks about how you can build a business and how you can make money, by not being there. Okay. He does tell you in the beginning. In the beginning of it, you do need to put in some work. There is some certain things that you must do before you can really generate an income, while you sleep, right? You have to put in that work initially, but once you do that, you're pretty much done. Smart Passive Income is one of those podcasts. Now, what Pat Flynn has done is he's made himself the go-to individual when we talk about how to make money online in a passive income way, right? So like he says, weekly interviews, strategy, and advice for building your online business. So he is the online business kind of guru because he's built his own platform around that topic and that niche. How do you make yourself an expert? How do you craft your message or make yourself the go-to person in the industry? You have a platform. You build a platform to do that. So this is Smart Passive Income, and that is Pat Flynn, and that is exactly what he's done. He's really created a niche for himself in the podcast industry, and within that, he's been able to monetize and grow his business because he's done so. So now let's go ahead and take a look at another example, which is Side Hustle Pro. So Side Hustle Pro, there's, I believe, Nicola Matthews. See, I can't even recall her name. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's hard for me because names don't mess with this brain, okay? I can hardly remember my kids' names. Like, really, let's just be honest. But Nicola Matthews, because I listen to her podcast a lot, I know her name. And that is what we want, right? Like Pat Flynn, we just talked about Pat Flynn. We know his name because we've listened to his podcast, or I know. If you're watching this, if you know who he is, then you know too. Nicola Matthews does the same thing. What's great about her podcast, on the side note from that, is that she has all these influential people on her podcast. So what happens when someone goes to search for one of these influential people? She picks up on their SEO, and they come directly to her platform. Her ownership of her platform gives her an ability to then reach out to other audiences and really truly pull from the audiences of the individuals that she's had on her platform. Now, I want to tell you, with reaching out to influencers and connecting with influencers, first and foremost, it's going to be hard when you first start off. When you first start your podcast, you may not be able to just start off and just haul off and go into, okay, Gary Vaynerchuk, why don't you come over? It may not happen, right? And Nicola Matthews, why don't you come on over? But you will eventually connect with that one individual, that one expert that's like, yeah, I love what you're doing. Absolutely. Or at least they will have respect. They're like, mad respect. I can't believe you started a platform. And yes, because I have respect for you. Everyone has to respect the fact that you stepped out of your comfort zone to start a platform. And that's exactly what Nicola Matthews has done. If I'm saying her name right now, I apologize if I'm not. That's exactly what she's done with this podcast. Now when people go to search for a Myleik Teal, I believe. Teal or Teal. Anywho, when someone goes to search for her, or Lisa Price, because that's an easy name to say, then they will pick up the Side Hustle Pro podcast. So that is another way that you can monetize your business. Once you get these influencers on your podcast, or monetize your podcast, once you get these influencers on your podcast, you're going to find it's going to be easy and simple for you to break into your industry and be known as the go-to person because you've had the opportunity to connect with these individuals. So YoFire with my boy. Can't remember his name because I don't listen to his podcast enough. However, I will tell you that I do hear about his podcast in the interwebs a lot. So with YoFire, he has built a massive platform, kind of doing the same thing that Michaela has done. But, you know, of course, he was doing it a lot. He's been doing it for a way longer time. But with YoFire Nation, I mean, you cannot come across any individual that doesn't know who YoFire is or what YoFire is. Right now, I'm blanking on his name. Like I said, I'm horrible with names. But with this particular platform, and you know what would have been great on his thing here too, is for him to put his name up here. He has all of the experts' name, which, I mean, you know, who am I to judge? I'm not really judging, but I will say that he could have put "Welcome to Fire Nation" and then put his name here, and then had his call to action button, so that way I could remember, because I cannot remember his name for the life of me. But anyway. That may just be me. Everybody else might know him. But this is a great way for people that may not listen to your podcast all the time, but hear about it, such as I, all the time. This is a great way for you to brand yourself and bring people, you know, bring the brand awareness to you as an individual, a separate piece of YoFire away from your business. But anyway, I say all of that to say it was irking me. So within this platform, he's interviewed Gary Vaynerchuk, Amy Porterfield, Lewis Howes, all these names, these digital household names. They're digital household names because in regular households, they may not know who these people are, but in digital spaces and places, absolutely. So he has all of those people here, and now he can build he has built a massive business because he's been able to create classes and memberships and things to that effect, because he's really gotten in on the SEO. The hidden tip of SEO is to have the individuals that people are searching for on your podcast, so you pick up on those key words. This is, you know, a little bit of a hack that a lot of people don't talk too much about, and I definitely wanted to share it with you all. You may not be EO Nation, because, you know, but you are Jawspeaks community, or Jawspeaks tribe, or Jawspeaks people, or Jawspeaks city. I don't know. Anyway, so that is, these are our examples. All three of these examples are examples of how people have utilized podcasting to really build their business and build their individual, as well as their business brand. They are the go-to people in these particular niches and spaces. And so when we think about starting a podcast, you ultimately hear a lot of people telling you that you have to do sponsorships or you have to do ads and things to that effect. But there are so many other benefits to starting a podcast. I mean, this is why you need your own platform. And if it isn't a podcast, it can definitely be a video series. It could be a live stream series. It can be so many other things, right? It could be a blog as well that is building a platform. Absolutely. So there's so many different ways that you can get your voice out there and get yourself heard and in front of your ideal audience. So give it a try. And that is why you should have a podcast. My name is Jessica. I go by Jawspeaks. I hope to either meet you in person soon or create content here with you in our digital media space. Wishing you wellness in life and in business. Peace. Let's play my outro, shall we? Let's play my outro video.